Hello, everybody that's online. So I'm Shawneil, Bailey Gordon, and Zarabelle. I heard you saying initially, by the way, when did we start? We
Yes.
officially started in 2012, officially, while we were in
Yeah.
college. 18 at the time. So just answering that quick question. But to jump right into it, Zarabelle really and truly provides media production support services. So
Yeah.
that includes talent management, so commercial and voice talents for marketing campaigns, brand ambassadors for events. So right now, the industry is open. We do a lot of events where we're managing the gate or etc.
Hmm.
Right? Craft services, and a lot of persons don't know what craft services is, but it's just as important as making sure everybody gets on set. Craft services is actually the snacks and beverages for the behind the scenes of the production. So you're on set and you're not thinking about how that coffee station was there. How did you get that water? How is that ice with igloo and everything is there? That's what craft services is. The
Yeah.
in-between meals that you get while you're on production. Right. So we provide that service, the build out, we go shopping for them. We do VIP table setups, etc. Recently, we did that for Digital when they're doing their promotion. We actually provided the table for their ambassadors,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then also, finally, production services. Production services are for incoming international clients. So, like film permits, production fixers, which you can call like production tour guides. So they come into the island, we make sure they get everything they need, which could
Hmm.
include the crew, the location, the bus, everything. And then, of course, customs brokers, because once they're bringing equipment into the island, they do
You
have to
have to.
organize. You have to get a customs broker. So we organize all of that for our incoming international clients. So that's really, so we provide the support
Yeah.
for the production. So producers love us, we're in the business of convenience. We
Yeah.
save time, and we focus on customer service. At the end of the day, we want you to come back because you felt appreciated, you felt accommodated, you just felt like, okay, they cared about my service. Sorry, me coming to them, and it's not just, oh, another person. No, like
Yeah.
we
A
care about
number.
you. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
just a number to us. It's really, and we're very passionate about the industry and just overall, giving the best quality, because if you give the best quality service outside of your customers returning, you're also in turn building the industry. You set a certain standard when you provide the best quality of service. So that's something that we definitely pay attention to within our organization.
There's a comment that was left, and it's one word, and I think it's apt. Mr. Gordon says, superstar.
Thank you, babe.
And I totally agree. And a part of the reason why your story is so amazing is you started at 18. So me have a question.
Yeah,
How did you, I know it didn't start with all of this, yeah, but
yeah.
how did this idea of providing talent for commercials, for advertisements and stuff even emerge in a little 17 going on 18
Right?
year
This
old
is
pitney
really great.
brain?
Like I'm telling you. I mean, that's a great question, Monique.
Yeah.
To be honest, when we first started, right, it was actually three of us. I had two other business partners. And I've always been into entrepreneurship and everything and doing my thing and whatever. And a friend of mine that we ended up partnering, she had a modeling agency partnership that she was working with somebody. Anyway, long story short, we're having conversations and she was saying, she'd like to branch out of that opportunity and do another thing. So we ended up working together, and then we added a third business partner, and we started out as a modeling agency actually. And to this day, we're still asked if we do modeling. No, we don't. We don't do modeling agency. We don't do modeling per se. That's more like
Yeah.
balls and saying. But we originally started as a modeling agency. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like runway. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about no runway. I don't know about no fashion. You know what I mean? And we all agreed to pivot when we were working our butts off trying to get the first customer to kind of pay us attention or whatever. Our first job, by the way, 6 months in, free. Like we offered our service free because we wanted the chance to just be out there. I never forget, it was a Kingston Bridal Week. We provided a model on the runway. I was there selling like crazy. And she's like, can you get a model right now? I said, yes. I don't know where I was going to find the person, but I found them and they were on stage. But, that's where we started first. And then as we grew along, and we're now a LLC, so I don't have any business partner per se. Everybody kind of went on their own, but I did stay around to do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And we pivoted because I got the opportunity while working. I got the opportunity. I've always wanted to be in. I just think it's full circle. I've always said I wanted to be in an ad. I always wanted to be a part of a TV commercial or whatever. And I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm actually disabled. I have a obvious limb. And I always thought, I would never be in a commercial. Nobody wants to see me on TV. And to be honest, I didn't see a lot of me, just us on TV.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that encouraged. So when I got the opportunity to work behind the scenes and I saw what it took and everything, and I felt like, okay, we can make a difference. We can provide the persons that look like us. And that's kind of where we started to pivot, because we wanted to see more persons that look like us, right? And that's where it kind of slowly just
started taking shape.
Yeah. And then I went on set and I was working on set as production assistant. One of the first places I worked was actually the lab. And I was a production assistant, and it was just, the more I was immersed in it, it just really felt so right, because I was doing marketing in college, and here I am in production. It just felt like the right thing. And as we grew, we just pivoted, we seized opportunities. When we launched the craft services arm, for example, that was when James Bond was filming in Jamaica, and everybody
lovely.
So the shoots that were happening here in Kingston didn't have any craft services. And I've done craft service before for persons, like they'd hired me to manage, but not necessarily as me. And I was like, they kept saying, Shawneil, would you do this? Would you do this? And I'm like, yeah, I would do this. I remember the first time it came up, I went to Mega Mart and bought 2 igloos, and I'm like, yeah, I provide craft services.
Yeah.
And that's just how, you have to seize these opportunities. So as we grew, we just kind of seized those opportunities and just grew from there. So that's kind of where we started. That's really.
I was literally going to ask you about how the craft services started and how you kind of grew into that space. And I love how you took an opportunity. You saw something and didn't just limit it to one pocket, because the truth in entrepreneurship, and something that a lot of us don't really appreciate, is you have to be ready before the opportunity emerges, in order to take best or the fullest advantage of the opportunities when they do come up. So what are some of the things that you think that Zarabelle does differently, or that you kind of try to implement to ensure success, or to position yourself in the best place to be successful?
That's a really good question, and it's a really good question. To be honest, one of the things that I definitely think, first of all, is I invest in our team. I know that Zarabelle is nowhere without our team. We have a very strong core team. I respect my team. I respect their feedback, and I implement their feedback and suggestions, and I create a safe space for them to be able to share what they have, to contribute. Because
their thoughts.
If you keep your mind closed, you would be missing out on $1 million ideas. So that's number one. Like, teamwork is important to me, and investing in your team is also important to me. And from there, you can build out, for example, so one of the things that we do, we implement processes. So our team internally everybody have accountability for what they do, because everybody knows what they're in charge of. Right.
Yeah.
And that goes back to respect. So though I may create, for example, the process as the team leader, I still go in with my team and say, hey, you are in the role every day. Tell me how we can make it better and more efficient, because you are there and you're interacting. That's also something I would do. We definitely invest in our processes and making sure that we keep accountability going. And I would say a big one as well is customer service. One thing I definitely like, we do customer service, and a big part of it is our customer service. Like, our customers are always happy with how we communicate. And I have to big up Amoy. Amoy is our customer experience officer. She is great. I mean, all of my team members are great. Christian, our talent administrator, Kalisha, our accounting manager, and Adrian. He is not officially on the team, but he works here with my husband, and he does a good job to make sure our software is doing really, really good. So I am very grateful for that core team. But you see, customer service, especially in an island like this where people don't care. I'm not saying we don't care, but let's really don't. standing out with customer service really and truly can put you on the map just because of that little bit, right? So I know for me, for example, when I go into any business, Popeyes, anywhere, where I go anywhere, I feel more at home when I get the best customer service.
Yes.
And I want my customers to feel at home. I want them, and with customer service, it aligns in your brain. I find, I'm no scientist or anything, but I find that it makes the trust is there as well, because they know that we're going to communicate on time. They know that we're going to keep them posted on what is next, and just overall communicating and giving them that warmth that they need to understand that we're here for them and their convenience. So I think those are some of the things that we've been doing that have really made us stand out right now. And just overall internally doing a lot of pivoting and brainstorming and working together and innovating. Like you can't stay still. I'm not saying you should run and jump from 3 ideas every month, but ideas should be flowing. Even if you start one once a year, ideas should be flowing, because you can't sit and just, because even who thought we'd have a pandemic, for example? Like we had to pivot and launch a whole new sub-service.
Right.
Express box, because we needed to pivot. I mean, so those are some of the things that we've been doing to kind of ensure success.
Even piggybacking on the previous conversation that just ended, just because something you said a while ago really reminded me. We talked about having multiple streams of income. Pre-pandemic, I surely had multiple streams of income. I was teaching at an institution, teaching digital marketing and such at Digital Marketing. I was consulting on an event, a national event, including foreign people coming in. I had my consultancy service where I provided services to 1 or 2 clients. And so money feel real nice and real cute that her business is starting to look like a business and starting to feel like something that can do a little more than pay you and can be a business. And then COVID just come and say, hello, you think you cute, you think you're nice, bye.
That was a scary time.
Yeah. And so it has required everybody, for persons listening, even people within the digital space, even people who you think should be secure or whatever, it's caused all of us to either reevaluate, to pivot, to change, to assess, to reassess, or to do something that's different. And it's really not easy handling or managing or doing business. Worse if you are alone at the helm, or in my case, it was just me. So adjust me.
And don't forget, there is, before you even get to the stage of pivoting, there's panic, there's depression.
Oh, girl.
Oh my God, I'm a failure. I know we don't put out there that we think like that. And I think that brings that unhealthy myth, which
expectation.
That we're at the top of our game at all the times, and
everything is perfect.
No, I feel like crap enough time, especially when you're trying to work on something and then it doesn't go as you planned or whatever. But that's definitely a good point, because I remember when the pandemic first hit. First of all, when it happened, nobody's expected it. Like, we're like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. Okay, 3 months, and we're going easy. Okay, first of all, we had no revenues. And I'm like, and I'm sure there are a lot of persons here that can relate. My foot is in the entertainment industry and that's been closed for 16 years. Right? Yeah. So and initially everything was closed except a supermarket and probably a gas station. Yeah. Everything was closed. I know I was panicking. I couldn't make the team know that I panic too much because I had to keep that strong faith. But Adrian get a lot of the piece of the panic. You know what I mean? Like, I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, after so many years, this is it. It's over. I failed. Woo! You know what I mean? But long story short, you don't see while you're in the situation, but you do have to plan. So I was pushing out ideas and retracting them and whatever. Until something, paper on the wall, something will stick. And, and that's how we launched our Crafty Express boxes. So as I mentioned with the whole craft services, where it's snacks and beverages, etc., behind the scenes, we decided, okay, we can contact we can't go in contact with anybody right now. They are not going to get the full service and want us to come on location with extra bodies. How can we get the service to them same way? So we put all of those little items, coffee, cups, snacks, water, ice. Of course, the ice is not actually in the box, but ice, drink, everything in a box, and we deliver it to them set. So now they don't have to add any extra bodies. They don't have to do anything extra, and we take the decision making out of their mind. Okay, we even need 3 cups, 7 cups. No, we actually have pre-packed boxes. So you can buy a crafty skeleton, for example, which is for a skeleton crew, or a belly full, which is a little bit bigger, or you can build a box, a craftery, But at the end of the day, the main part of it was the fact that we were able to deliver something in a time of panic. And for me, we wanted to make sure whatever we came with, it wasn't something that it took investment. It took time and different resources. It needed to be something that after the pandemic, we can continue this service. So that it takes a while because it didn't happen immediately. I was all over the place running like a headless chicken for a minute. And then, you have to calm down. You have to also, and as an entrepreneur, guys, you have to know what your safe space is. How do you get yourself back to earth? For me, it's home. It's, my husband and I have a really good, I like to, him know I'm emotional already. Me like to ball and overreact or whatever. I'm really good at just keeping me calm and
centered.
And that's my safe place, as well as friends. I have a very tight circle. That's my safe place as well. So those things help to ground me. And I know that grounds me. Personal people relationship grounds me personally. What grounds you? Say it's you needing to take a drive to Montego Bay, do that. But you have to find something that resets your watch so that you're back 100% when you need to.
Okay. All right. So final question, Shawneil, in terms of things people can reach out to Zarabelle for, is there anything new on the horizon? What can they look out for from Zarabelle over the next couple months? And if there's anything that you want to plug or share.
Well, to be honest, our main thing right now is our Crafty Express box, as I mentioned, and just our VIP table services. So as regards to, I already kind of explained what the Crafty Express box is right now. So I don't need to go back into that, but I will say one thing that we are working on is internally being stronger. One of the things that we're going to be putting out there now is that we want to ensure that we're giving the best quality service. So of course, for example, being a talent agency as well, you have to see people's images and such. So, look out for us improving on the photo quality. We're actually partnering with a very, very popular photographer here locally. When the announcement leak, will be all over social media. So that way, at the end of the day, when we're submitting to you these options, and then you in turn submit to your client, you are giving them the best representation of what they're about to get. So that's something that we're working on. And it's just right now, it's just to focus on internally making sure when you come to us, we're saving you time. Your customer service is up and everything is just a breeze, basically. But otherwise than that, Crafty Express is our main thing that we're focused on right now. It's delivered to your set, delivery is included in the cost. We have the skeleton box, for example, is 12,500. And that covers about 8 to 10 people, studio shoots, you're doing a quick little product shoot or whatever. And you need a quick box. A lot of our customers say we save them time having to join Price Smart, right? And all of these things, we're saving them time. So we save a lot of our customers and producers, which is our producers, production coordinators and marketing professionals, a lot of time. Because you want to focus on what you're doing. You're making sure your customer and your client is happy. You don't have time to go to shop. I'm not saying it's not important, but we do it. You know what I mean? So that's what it is.
So just making things a lot more convenient. All right. So how can persons find you, Shawneil? How can people contact Zarabelle?
Sure. So Zarabelle does have a website, www.zarabelleja.com, by the way. ZARABELLEJA.com. We're on social media as Zarabelle Management, Zarabelle MGMT, Zarabelle MGMT. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn. and our email is hello@zarabelleja.com. Like hello, like the simplest greeting. It cannot forget. And of course, you can reach us at 1-876-335-2401. So yeah, that's how you get in touch with us. And I'm on social media as me. So I'm not really a social media tete, you know what I mean? But I'm there. I'm online.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shawneil. Really appreciate you coming on board with us and wishing you all the best with Zarabelle and
Thank
everything
you.
that comes along with it.
No problem. Thank you so much. The rest of your day, Monique.
Awesome.